It's the last 2 days for the Kickstarter for the Old Coder Guy book, and I realized that other than a general summary on the project page, I haven't said much about the book's content. So, each chapter of the book will be an essay or story covering the major dimensions of my tech immersed life. I'll have some advice and sideways thinking about this career that I hope will be both helpful to people just starting out and a funny memory lane trip for my fellow gray hairs. And even though the whole thing germinated from satire and comedy, I'm trying to write one of the most real books you've ever read, and for me, that means there will also be a few tech-related stories about deaths. If you had asked me 3 days ago, it would have been two, including a really crazy story about a friend who was a programmer and who was killed by a software defect. I absolutely shit you not. That story also involves his story and my story on 9/11. This dude gets grazed by 9/11 and then taken out by fucking software. It boggles the mind. On Saturday morning, I decided to add a third death story based on events from Friday night. It's about a suicide, and while the suicide, as you'd likely expect, has not a single iota of humor, within the blast radius of that story are a couple tech-related details which are pretty funny. This includes a strange coincidence related to one of my ridiculous OCG video narratives that will hopefully blossom into another absurd story before the book is done. But the upshot of the suicide story and the aftermath that I wanted to say out loud today is that we've got to take care of each other. While the majority of the OCG audience is clearly the cocaine and orgies crowd and thus operating at the pinnacle of mental fortitude and wellness, I suspect that there are a few of us who may spend too much time by ourselves in a room. I really enjoy long hours in my cave too, but I don't think we're wired to be able to extract our minimum threshold of mental health from solo time in front of a glowing box. Check on yourself and check on your people. The dude killed by software, whose name is Scott, died in March many years ago. One of my last good memories of him in person was getting carry-out Indian food for lunch during work one beautiful sunny spring day. We ate while sitting on the fountain with a huge bronze ball in the middle of the World Trade Center, probably in the year 2000 or so. So pay attention to your weather in the next few weeks, and if you get a nice day, lure your coworkers or some friends to a park, you can say it's a gender reveal or something, and eat in the sun and enjoy the moment. The odds are not high that your lunch spot will later be destroyed in a burning nightmare, or that the dude who mentored you in your first experience with a client-server SQL database will get taken out by the long play fallout, but you never can tell.